You are not your scale number. Hi, I'm Sam, the host of this little podcast called More Than a Number that I created specifically for you to start believing exactly that. Do you struggle to maintain weight loss but desperately want to feel good in your own skin, confident in your clothes, and improve your overall health? If so, you're home. Hey, I'm Sam, dietitian, specialist in weight management, and former functioning fat girl. I learned the secret of how to lose and maintain weight by simply nourishing my life well. If you're ready for the sustainable nutrition strategies, consistent habits, and freedom from a self-sabotaging mindset, grab your water bottle and let's go. Friends, are you stuck? You need a lifestyle audit. I'm so happy to offer a 1-hour one-on-one coaching session that I call the Winning at Weight Loss Breakthrough Session. During this session, I audit all the different aspects of your day-to-day lifestyle and intake. I compare that with your goal and what you tell me is the main problem you're facing with your health journey, and I coach you on the most simple, realistic thing you can implement immediately to finally break through and start making progress towards lasting weight loss. You'll get a recording of our session, a handout recapping your game plan, and I'll check in with you 1 week later to see how it's going. This is such great value that I only have 10 spots per month available. Click the link in the show notes to book your Winning at Weight Loss breakthrough session as soon as possible so you don't miss out. Stop spinning your wheels trying to throw spaghetti at the wall, no pun intended, to find something that finally kickstarts your progress. Get your simple lifestyle audit in your breakthrough session and start winning at weight loss. I can't wait to meet you. Click that link in the show notes and let's hop into today's episode. Ugh, I am so disgusting. My thighs could each have their own zip codes. I'm eating like an animal. My body hates me. I hate my body. I ruin my body. What's the point of even trying? I look like a whale. Why am I so gross? I'm such a failure. I'm never going to meet my goal. It's no wonder I've been single forever. No man could ever or should ever love this body. Fun fact, these are all actual thoughts and things I've said to myself an infinite number of times over the course of my 44 years of life and so many, many more with a lot more colorful, shall we say, language. Can you relate? Hey friend, welcome back to More Than a Number. I'm Sam, and today's episode is clearly a raw one because we are talking about something that hits home for a lot of us. The big question, can you love your body and at the same time still want to change it? If you've ever swung between total self-bullying and I should love myself no matter what, this one's for you. Because there is a middle ground, a healthy, freeing, realistic middle ground. And that's what we're going to talk about today. As you can clearly see, or hear rather, I'm always completely real with you. There was a time in my life when the I should love myself no matter what was not even a thing. Prior to 2007, when I started this long-term weight loss journey, I would have argued to the death that there's no possible way to love myself at 400 pounds. I straight up hated myself at 400 pounds. I'd look in the mirror and pick myself apart. Every roll, every lump, every so-called flaw. I thought if I shamed myself enough, maybe I'd finally have the motivation to change. But here's the truth. Shame never helped me change. It only made me feel small, gross, and stuck. Because when you're constantly berating yourself, you aren't inspired to eat better or sleep better or move more. You're exhausted. You're anxious. You're looking for relief. And more often than not, that relief comes from the very habits you're trying to break, aka food. You're coping with food. Sound familiar? We think being hard on ourselves equals discipline, but really it's just punishment dressed up as motivation. My journey since 2007 has shown me, and I believe God has shown me, that you can't hate yourself into loving yourself. Meaning, you're not going to hate yourself into losing the pounds you want to lose and then miraculously start loving yourself because you lost X amount of pounds. Are you tracking here, guys? It just doesn't work that way. When we shame ourselves, our bodies actually go into like stress mode. Our cortisol spikes. We start craving comfort food. We skip our workouts. We stay up late, snacking, scrolling, Netflixing. We avoid mirrors. We avoid scales. We avoid photos. We disconnect. We isolate. And once that isolation happens, it's almost impossible to make consistent, loving choices because we're no longer treating our body like something we care for. We're treating it like something we have to fix. But let me say this loud for the people in the back. Your body is not broken. Your body is not broken. Even if it's carrying more weight than you want it to currently, it's still doing its best to keep you alive. It's been through some things, you know. It's adapted. It deserves care, not contempt. Okay, now let's talk about the other extreme. And this one may ruffle some feathers. I'm talking about toxic body positivity. I said it may ruffle some feathers. The body positivity movement started as something truly beautiful and I think necessary. It was needed. It started by helping people to stop hating themselves, stop obsessing over their size, and start celebrating what their bodies can do. I'm 100% behind that mission. But somewhere along the way, it got a little bit warped. The other part of that too is, it kind of was born out of this time period where very, very, very thin was celebrated, and all models and people in magazines, and it was kind of portrayed as being healthy as this standard that if we didn't look like a Victoria's Secret model, then we didn't meet the standard. We weren't beautiful. We weren't healthy. We were fat, basically, if we didn't look like Cindy Crawford. So I think it was necessary. We needed a change in the way that we were viewing our bodies, right? But again, it got a little jacked up along the way. So, we started hearing messages like, you're good just the way you are. If you love yourself, you wouldn't try to change your body. And, my personal favorite is healthy at any size. And that's simply not true. Ignoring the health risks that are associated with overweight and obesity just to avoid hurting our own or other people's feelings is ludicrous, in my humble, personal, professional opinion. So let me explain. If a doctor discovers a patient has lung cancer, they're not going to ignore the fact that they're currently smoking. They're not going to not address that smoking just to avoid hurting their feelings. The doctor is going to say, I know it's going to be hard, but you have to quit smoking. The reality is that losing the extra weight improves a multitude of different health markers, and it can lead to an extended lifespan. Now, obviously, there's a lot that's not within our control about how long we live. We're not God, right? But there are things that are within our control, and that is taking care of our bodies by making better choices, by eating better, by not carrying around a certain amount of excess weight. And the other part of that too is, trust me when I tell you, I am well aware that the medical community has a lot of opportunity to improve the way that they handle discussing weight or bringing weight into their conversations with their patients. So, they can use the just lose weight recommendation for literally everything. I always used to joke that I could walk into the doctor with a broken arm and they would be like, oh, just lose some weight. That'll fix it. So they definitely can improve their approach and their bedside manner around weight and how we talk about it. However, they shouldn't have to go in the complete opposite extreme and just completely ignore it altogether. Same thing for me as a clinician, as a dietitian. If somebody comes to me because they want to lose weight and they say, well, I only want to lose 10 or 15 pounds, but their BMI is, 55, then it's my responsibility to have a conversation with them and make sure that they understand the health ramifications to the amount of extra weight that they're carrying and recommend that they make it a point to lose a little more than the 10 or 15 extra pounds that they said, right? So for us, loving ourselves doesn't mean staying exactly where we are forever. Sometimes self-love looks like not settling. It's cooking at home instead of grabbing fast food for the 5th time in a week. Not because you're punishing yourself, but because you want to feel better. It's going for a walk when you'd rather scroll through socials. Not because you should, but because you deserve fresh air, clarity, confidence. Love is a verb. It's not passive or blind acceptance. It's active, ongoing, consistent care and course correction. Evolution, we're always evolving. So can you love your body and still want to change it? Absolutely. In fact, I think that's the healthiest mindset that we can have. This is the one body that we get. And if you're a Christian like me, you know that God created all of us in His image long before our human life began. He designed our bodies on purpose for a purpose. So who the heck are we to not respect them? Here's how I see it. You can love your body for carrying you through life and still want to make it stronger. You can respect your body for what it's done and still want to nourish it better. You can appreciate your body right now, today, in this moment, and still desire to see it evolve and change and improve. It's not one or the other. We can give ourselves grace without giving up our goals. Does that make sense? So let's talk about how to actually live in that middle space with grace, grace and growth, where they can coexist. So first things first, we got to watch our self-talk, guys. It's not about, frou-frou, sunshine and rainbows and constantly blowing smoke up our own butts, okay? It is about not bullying ourselves, not hating and disrespecting our bodies. If you wouldn't say it to your daughter, your niece, your best friend, your sister, don't say it to yourself. Replace "I'm disgusting" with "I'm uncomfortable, but I'm working on it." Compassion doesn't mean lying to yourself. It means telling the truth without cruelty. okay? Do not be cruel to yourselves. Number 2, separate your worth from your weight. You are not your scale number. Hi, I'm Sam, the host of this little podcast called More Than a Number that I created specifically for you to start believing exactly that. You are not the number on the scale. You are the habits, the energy, the peace, the love you bring to your life. The weight can always change. Your worth doesn't. And you're worthy of changing your weight if you want to. So there. Number 3, use accountability as love, not punishment. So logging or tracking your food, stepping on the scale, planning meals. We don't need to look at these things as punishment. They're tools to actually help you stay aligned with your goals, to meet your goals, to meet your weight loss, and be able to maintain it. And number 4, we want to redefine what we view as progress. So set non-scale victories and goals. Progress isn't just, I lost 2 pounds this week. It's the night you closed the refrigerator door and went straight into bed instead of binge eating. It's the morning you chose to strap on your sneakers and go for that walk instead of hitting snooze a few more times. It's feeling less chaos and anxiety around food, feeling at peace instead of tempted to go back for a 3rd plate at that party. That's growth, and it's literally everything on a weight loss journey. So my friends, here's the truth I want you to walk away with today. You can love your body and still want to change it. You can have grace for yourself and still expect more from yourself. You can be proud of how far you've come and still be hungry, no pun intended, for more progress. That's the sweet spot. Grace and the grit you need to keep pursuing your goals. That's where the real lasting change happens. So this week, pay attention to your inner dialogue. Ask yourself, is this thought helping me to love myself into change? Or am I currently shaming myself into wanting to isolate? Because only one of those things is actually going to move you forward. You deserve both kindness and accountability. You deserve a body that feels like home, like peace, and a mindset that supports that journey. So if this episode spoke to you, would you do me a favor and share it with a friend who you know needs to hear it too? And if you haven't yet, leave a quick review on Apple Podcasts. It really helps this podcast to be seen more by the people who need it, and I would so appreciate it. Until next time, remember, you are worthy, you are capable, you can do hard things. I love you and God loves you. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, friends. Hey friend, I really hope you feel empowered by this episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds and share it with another friend who needs it? Also, please leave a quick review for the show on Apple Podcasts. It brings me so much joy to know this podcast is helping you. Okay, time to go nourish well, aka eat some good food. I'll meet you back here next time for another episode. I love you and God loves you. Have a beautiful day.